If you don't want to waste the next 5 years of your life, I really need you to listen to this. When I went to college, not only was I going into a new experience, I also had just defected from Cuba, crossed the border, came to America. I had gotten married a year before, and now I was going into college with no idea what the hell I was doing. The funny thing is that nobody else knew what they were doing, even though they were American and they were trying to do things that were simpler for them. For me, I didn't even know how to drive. I barely knew the language, and I didn't even know my way around a Walmart store. I actually got lost the first time I went to a Walmart a few months before I started college. Now, the difference between going in like that and wasting your money and your time for 5 years and the experience that I had where I came out of college making more money than all those kids. Also, I had a son and I had a production company, and all of that happened while I was in college. You know what the difference was? I was not waiting to finish something to get started with my life. I think that happens a lot with people going into college in America because they think that, oh, I need to go to college to like figure out everything. And then when I get out, all of a sudden I'm going to know. And we know that's BS. It doesn't work like that. Whatever it is that you're interested right now in doing, you just have to do it. You can't be waiting to go to college so a professor gives you permission to maybe try something. And you also need to operate with a sense of urgency, because that time is going to go away and then you're going to enter the real world. But you know, the funny thing is that while you're going to college, you are already in the real world. You don't need to wait to get out of college to go into the real world. You're already living in it. Nobody outside of school will know the difference. If you start a business and you do a company online, or you start a YouTube channel, or you start writing, or you start whatever it is that you want to do, if you started right now while you're going into college, you're going to be in the same level as someone who's 45 and doing that same company. Life in the world doesn't care about that. So don't use college as a shelter for you to play around and just waste another 4 years before you go out into doing something real. You have to know what you want to do right now. There's a lot of videos out there of people saying, oh, it's okay if you don't know what you want to do. Like, I just don't buy that. And because my experience was different, I already knew what I wanted. So I went into college and I was already doing my production company. And I had no idea how to do the company, but I just did it anyways. So if you were born here, you speak the language, you have family, you have a driver's license, dude, like, there is no excuses for you not to do amazingly well. And I don't want people to just get used to the idea that it's okay to go to college and like fumble around for a few years. No, I think regular people can do that. If you're watching this video, I don't want you to be regular at all. I want you to be exceptional. I want you to be a high-level individual that is going out in the world and making something happen. Because you know what? You can do it. You can actually do it. And not only you can do it, you have to do it. You have to do it. You owe it to yourself to take the most out of your time. And listen, you can have fun and still do amazing things. It doesn't mean that you have to like just work and not do anything interesting. Actually, when I was in college, I did a lot of fun things with people that I met there that I never thought that I was going to do things like that. I joined a great club. I did some sports. I went to different parties with different friends. And at that time, I was married. I had my son when I was in my sophomore year. And I still, after that, I was part of a Greek club. And those experiences never took away from the fact that I was still ambitious and I was relentless in making sure that I was doing my company, doing my films, and I was doing music videos and commercials and stuff that people outside of college weren't even doing. People that had companies and people that were doing the same field that I was doing, I was playing neck to neck with them while I was in school, while I was in a country that I didn't know, and also while I had a young kid. And I think one of the reasons that I was able to do things differently is, yes, I have my family still back in Cuba. My parents and my brothers were counting on me, and I had a chance, I had a shot that nobody else had. So I needed to take advantage of it. So I remember going in my first semester, my first like media class. I go in and we get our homework, like our first assignment was to do a commercial. And everyone was doing like fake spec commercials. This is something that people do all the time. There's nothing wrong about the program or anything like that. So everyone was doing a spec commercial, you know, like a Doritos commercial or a Subway commercial. And I'm like, I want to do a real commercial for like a business in town. And I started reaching out to different people, and I wanted to find like a company that I could do a commercial and I'll at least make like $500 because I needed to pay rent. So I'm like, I'm going to do my homework, but I'm also going to make some money. So I started reaching out to people and nobody really wanted to do it. I didn't even get responses from a couple companies that I reached out to. So I bump into this ad about a Kia commercial contest. It was like you made a music video and it was for Kia. And I was crazy enough to say, screw it, let's do it. So I started asking students in the class to like help me do this video, and nobody could really help me. And I started asking other people around, and finally some friends from church say yes. And I got a camera from a friend, and I got another guy that was doing production that I was working with involved in my crazy idea. All of a sudden, I put together all of these kids. We shoot the video, and a few months later, we won the whole contest. It was a national competition, and my first video that I made for college won me a brand new Kia Soul. It was one of those with the hamsters. It was really cool. So imagine, I was 21. I had only been in America for a few months, and I had already made a national commercial with a car company, and I got a car out of it. After that happened, I was like, you know, anything is possible here. Anything is possible. All you have to do is actually be crazy enough to try it. And then everything changed for me after that. So I think college doesn't have to be a limbo stage where you go to get drunk and just have fun. Like, you should really use that time to make sure that you're doing something that matters and that can count towards your life, because your family and your future self depends on it. So I hope that this video can serve you in realizing that you don't have to wait for anyone's permission. You don't have to waste your time, and you have to be committed to making the next 4 years of your life freaking amazing, because they're yours and you need to take control of them.